Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Doctor Who Season 11, Episode 5. It's called the Tsuranga Conundrum. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. And if you want to complain about my lack of really trying to get that silent T in there, suck it. Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. That's why I bring that up, is because everyone's complaining that most people don't say Tsushima right, because they just ignore the T and just say it with an S. But you know what? If that's what works, that's what works.
Yeah, butcher the language, aren't you?
Well, I mean, it was a really mediocre episode. I have to have fun somewhere.
You think?
Yeah, this was a pretty mediocre episode. I think we've had a couple of mediocre ones in a row. What, do you like this one?
Outside of one key element, I thought it was fun enough.
Given I thought there were several elements that didn't work, I'm curious to find out which one you specifically thought didn't work.
I think it's a bit overstuffed.
Okay, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's both overstuffed, but at the same time, too long. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of this was padded with excess exposition that wasn't necessary for the plot. It was just like, you know, that thing where the Doctor likes to ramble about details about things and explaining things. There was a lot of that in this episode that didn't really amount to anything. It was just kind of, here's some, science talk for the sake of science talk.
Fair enough. You got any in particular that stood out?
When they get to the core and they were talking about it, and it kept going to Yaz talking about how she did X thing in physics and X thing.
See, yeah, to me that was harking back to you know how a few weeks ago with the Rose Parks episode, at the end I mentioned how the whole point was to be educational. That felt like that was meant to be that there of like, okay, this is what how what this is.
Oh, sure,
I think
but
it was like a little mini science lesson thing, right?
Yeah, but there's a way to do it so it doesn't just feel like it's a dumped in.
No, that's fair.
Bit. So that I felt there was a lot of that in this episode. The pregnant dude, because this guy, because obviously the premise of this one is they're looking for parts in a junk planet, and they hit a mine that, not a mine. Oh, that'd be funny if they hit a mine, but they hit a mine and they end up on this hospital ship.
Yeah. I just want to say I love the opening shot. Just that wide shot of the junk planet and the TARDIS just there.
Oh yeah, look good. But we spent the rest of the episode on the ship, the very sterile, white, clean ship, and we have a bunch of things going on. But one of them is that there's an alien guy who looks human, because at first you don't realise he's an alien, but he's pregnant. So notably, okay, that's weird. And so they start questioning why, because he's acting as if this is normal, and Graham and Ryan are just like, wait, what? What's happening?
Understandably.
Turns out he's from another planet where the men get pregnant as well. And then later on we find out more specifically that, because he says it's a boy, and he's like, oh, you know it's a boy? He's like, yeah, of course it is. Men give birth to boys. Women give birth to girls. And
there's a logic.
And she's like, it's not like that where we're from. It's like, oh, that's weird. Okay, how's that work? It's simple. We just don't give birth. It's easy on us, not so much on the other half, but it's easy on us.
We're all right. We'll take the easy road.
But yeah, so a lot of this felt weird to me. I mean, honestly, the pregnant did just make me think of Junior, the Schwarzenegger movie, which, and I like most of his movies. Junior's not up there on that list. The idea of a pregnant man just feels like a silly joke to me. But then the whole thing with it getting Ryan talking about his dad, and Ryan then convinces him not to give up the baby because you should try and be a father. It felt oddly, I don't know, like almost, I don't want to say demonizing, but almost just negative to anyone who chooses to give up a child for adoption. Like, that's an evil thing to do. Like, that's something you shouldn't do.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
And I feel like that's a weird message.
I get what you're saying, but I think I think the interpretation was maybe think about it, because the guy didn't even think about being a parent, right? He was just like, "Oh, I'll just get rid of it."
Okay, sure. I can see what you're saying, but I don't know. It came across as weird. It felt like because Ryan didn't have his father close, he just tried to convince this guy to be a father, and it felt like it was lacking any other nuance. It was just kind of.
That's fair. Yeah.
It was like, oh, I'm pissed that I didn't have a father, so you should be a father. Don't be a dick. Because when it started, I thought what it was going to do was have Ryan kind of understand his father better. That because he says at one point, "Oh, I'm the age my dad was when he had me, and I'm the same age as this guy, and I couldn't be a parent." I thought it was going to lead to Ryan being not necessarily explaining everything his dad's done since then about being distant and whatnot and not showing up for his nan's funeral and all that stuff. But I thought he might come to an understanding of why his father maybe was.
Yeah, I get why you'd think that at the start, but then as we go on, we learn okay they had a relationship up until he was like what 13, I think he said.
Until his mother died, yeah.
So I mean, once you add on that extra 13 years, it's like, well, I mean, that's kind of a bit sketchy right at that point. You can't have that lesson then.
Yeah, obviously. But it was just, when I went in that direction, it felt kind of, I don't know, weird. It felt like a weird point to me to make. And then I don't even know if it's the main plot. This is kind of episode with multiple B plots than like a proper A plot and a B plot, if that makes sense. I don't know if you felt that way.
I mean, I thought it was relatively clear which is the main plot, but I would agree it hasn't got like significantly more time dedicated to it than the others.
I think it's a feeling thing more than anything else. I mean, I get what one's meant to be the main plot, but whenever we cut back to it, it never felt like it was any more important. If even though technically the ship was going to blow up and there's a monster, rampaging around eating everything.
It definitely felt more important than the pregnant dude.
I don't know, but we also had the B plot of the honourable pilot woman who's dying, who's respected and has heart problems.
Yeah, that mostly tied in though to the main plot. It kind of became like a subsection of that.
But I'll just say it. I thought the little monster was kind of stupid.
I happen to agree.
Oh, good. That's what
that
you
was
agree with.
My big key issue is, I think it's not even that I think it's a bad design. I just think it feels out of place in this episode.
I've already seen several jokes online about it just being a copy of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I never saw that, but from the images I've seen, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Do you know what I think it is though? I think they didn't give it enough time. I feel like they need to spend more time actually building it as a threat. I felt like everything they said to me about what it was doing, everything was just exposition. Oh, it's doing this, it's going to eat through this, oh, it's going to kill everything. There was never really any scary moments with it itself being a threat. And the one scene we had with it was when it was a joke. It ate the screwdriver.
No, it's true. I think I said I wasn't. I think I looked a bit goofy and out of place in this episode. I wonder if that's just because we didn't have enough time to adjust to it. Because I think I can only think of 3 key scenes with it. Like I said, the introduction to the screwdriver you got with the bomb, and then just a few bits here or there, right?
Yeah, because it was like, okay, so something mysterious coming towards the ship, and you've got the Doctor arguing with the like, I guess the captain of the ship, if that's even the right term in this case.
The head doctor.
Yeah, and I did kind of like this because I thought she was being unreasonable and selfish. Because she said, "No, turn this ship around right now, damn it! I need to get back to my TARDIS." And I'm like, because I was going to complain it was kind of out of character, but then she kind of like caught on to it herself and went, "Yeah, you're right. I'm being a dick. Why am I being like this?" But. So I was like, okay, I thought that was a good moment. I thought her realizing that she was being unreasonable, and she was actually, when she realized, oh wait a minute, I'm trying to delay a medical ship from getting patients back to a hospital. What am I doing?
Yeah,
I'm supposed to help just because I'm worried about my blue box.
Yeah, it's a pretty dickish thing to do.
But so we have the mystery. Oh, there's a mysterious object coming towards the ship. What is it? And it's like, oh, it's eating through things. I'm like, okay, I'm interested. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then we see the thing, and it's just jokes, and it's just a lot of exposition about what it's attracted to and what it's eating and how we can't touch it.
I like the idea of it a lot. I just think the design is a little bit goofy for what it is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And maybe some adding an extra threat to the characters on a personal level might help rather than just the environment.
Yeah, I feel like more of a threat, because even if you want it to come across as, oh, the creature itself's not a villain or evil, because that's kind of the point, and it's often a point in Doctor Who is that it's just an animal doing what its nature is. It's not.
I really liked its presence in its introduction. Where it kind of jettisons the other, the doctor in the escape pod.
Yeah, but honestly, that felt kind of weird to me. I mean, you say the doctor, you mean the doctor on the ship, not the doctor.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yes, captain. Just call him the captain. It's just in this context, it's easier to refer
Fine.
to him as that. But yes, yeah, he tricks him into an escape pod and jettisons him, and then nothing else from the rest of the episode really like felt like it clicked in with that, because that set him up as like, oh, he's a really smart creature who's going to trick them.
Yeah. I don't know if he was tricking. I wonder if that was just that his interpretation is like, oh, it tricked me, where realistically, it was just eating through to the power supply, as we know.
Okay.
And that was setting off these alarms and stuff. So they were going in and seeing it, and then
Yeah, but to be fair,
circuit.
it's not our assumption there. This is the characters who speak like this and talk about it being a trick.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm assuming that character, he is assuming that it was a trick. He doesn't actually know what it is.
Well, yeah, but then they have to get that message across to us in some way that he might not be right, because he says it's so matter of fact and it's never questioned. That to us, this scene is teaching us is that he is a trickful creature who will try and manipulate us in some way, or manipulate the characters. And then nothing of that ever comes up again. From there, it's just, I'm going to eat a screwdriver and make fart noises and float around like an idiot when I eat a bomb. I don't know. I wasn't feeling this
I
one.
had no problem with the bomb eating bit.
Well, no, I have no problem with it in a vacuum, but after the setup, this is where it went.
Yeah.
I
was having fun for the most part.
Can you always say that about Doctor Who, though?
No, but I disagree, because I wasn't having fun with the creature.
Okay.
When that was on screen, I was like, kind of took me out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like nothing in this episode clicked together. Like I don't feel like the pregnant dude plot really felt like it should have fit with everything. The dying pilot plot didn't really feel like it necessarily fit with everything.
I think there was not enough time dedicated to that plot. I like what it was doing. I like the little teasers. What was the book of celebrants?
Yeah, the Doctor's in that, and a volume of it.
Yeah. I want to hear more about this book. I want to see something. Maybe we'll get something on that later.
Maybe it's a tease. Yeah, there was some Easter eggs as well when they were looking through the different creatures to get to the was it the epitome? Pating, that was it. When we were going through that, there was a lot of classic Doctor Who monsters on the screen, so it's worth pointing out. But yeah, I felt like nothing in this was clicking together, and I think it is because they just had maybe if you just jettison one of the plots and just give more time to the other two, it might have worked better. It might have had time to develop both in a way that was more satisfying. I don't know. I feel like it was weird to do a jokey little creature like this right after the spiders, because it's about the same height in a way. I know it's a very different creature, but I just felt like we're doing another small. I mean, I know the spiders were big for spiders, but
they weren't that small.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of them early on. I know there was a big one at the end, but like a lot of the spiders were, around the same height as this thing. I just felt it was weird to put this right after the spider episode. I was like, oh, we're doing another little stupid creature. Not that spiders are stupid necessarily, but you know what I mean. It felt weird. It felt like another really B movie cheesy thing to do. It felt weird to do them back to back.
Okay.
I was expecting a serious episode after last week.
Okay, I mean, maybe that's on you a little. That's not typically the rule. Like serious fun.
No, it's not. But I was expecting something more serious, because last week was such a B movie cheesy plot that I was expecting something a bit more, and I felt like it wasn't at all. If anything, it was cheesy.
In different ways, though.
Sure, in different ways, more stupid ways.
I mean. Is this stupider than giant mutant spiders?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's a matter of opinion, isn't it? That's just not a factual statement that you can answer.
Spiders are not stupid. Making them bigger is just an extension of what they already are. It's just magnifying it. This little creature's it was a little fur-based, stupid-looking thing. It looks like you want to hug him.
I agree that the design was not appropriate for this episode.
If you want a small creature, make him look like a critter or heaven forbid, leprechaun. I mean,
really, you're giving this shit for being a stupid B movie thing, and then you bring up Leprechaun.
Leprechaun's garbage, but at least it knows what it was being. This episode's all over the place. It's unfocused.
Yeah.
Some folks, and it ends with a funeral and everyone like being sad and standing around her in a circle. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit about this character. You did nothing to make me care.
I really like that speech prayer thing, whatever you want to call it.
Oh sure. I felt like it was almost every scene with her was just about the fact that she was hiding her condition from her brother, and there was almost nothing else to it.
Well, I mean, we started off with it being about, okay, she's this big, legend, this epic battles that she's, been in. Like it gave us some history of the character at least first before we got into, oh, she's dying.
Yeah, but there was nothing in between. It was just here's who she is, and she's dying, and she's hiding it from her brother, and they just
No,
kind
I agree. The episode's a bit overstuffed. I think I said that quite early on.
Yeah, I'll just say it was really mediocre. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about this one, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
I hope we upswing after this, because last week's was the weakest, although this has now topped that. I think this is now the weakest episode of the season.
Maybe. Yeah, I might agree with that. I'm torn. Yeah, maybe. I think for me though, at least because I said, I was mostly having fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that is down to just the banter between the Doctor and the companions. That's so consistently enjoyable, and it's consistent throughout the episode as well. That even when it's doing a stupid plot, I'm getting something there that, okay, I'm having fun still. Every 3-4 minutes, they're going on about something.
It's funny you say that, because I actually felt like the companions were missing for like a good 10 minutes at one point in this. But see, when we're doing the captain being jettisoned and all that, there was a good chunk there.
Yeah.
When it cut back to Graham, who caught the brother looking up the medical records, I was like, oh yeah, where are the companions all been at? And then I was thinking, oh yeah, where's Yaz and Ryan? Where are they hanging out? And they were just kind of in a scene afterwards, but when everyone was there. It wasn't like there was even an explanation for where they were off doing something. And to be fair, I mean, they were inconsistently the rest of the episode, but there was like a notable 10-minute gap where I was like, oh, that's weird, I've not seen any of them in like 10 minutes.
There was, but that was very much the setup of the main plot, right? That section there, that was kicking things into gear. So I didn't feel like they were absent at that point too much.
No, I didn't really feel it until we cut back to Graham and I went, oh yeah,
they weren't there. Yeah,
it was more of a thing I noticed after the fact rather than during the scene. So it's not that's a complaint. It's just because you said there that you felt consistently through the episode you were getting that part of it. I was just kind of like, no, but it's weird because I noticed them gone for like.
No, I agree. But through the main bulk of, okay, here's the main plot, it's happening. All the subplots are going on. It felt pretty consistent in that section that there was always this banter going on that were giving me something to latch onto and enjoy.
Oh, which reminds me, so the big finale moment's going to be Ryan finally giving a fist pump to Graham after all season.
Probably
because it happened once in the pilot, and it was because it just felt like a really little moment. It didn't really mean anything. But now he's tried it again and been turned down again. It's going to be a big thing at the end when he finally does it.
So he's going to fist bump him while riding a bike.
He's going to ride a bike and then he's going to go to fist pump him afterwards, and then Ryan will accept that. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of okay with that.
Yeah. Also, I felt like there could have been more done as well with the fact that the head doctor died and it left the second in command lady. I felt like that was going to be more of a big deal when he first died, and she was kind of scared about it, and he was all like, "Oh, I trust you, you've got this," and then she was just kind of there, giving Doctor directions.
Yeah. For
the most part, for the rest of the episode. I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of undercooked element. Joe, I'd say this script needed a couple of redrafts. That'd be my main critique. I think it needed to be refined. Needed to be maybe jettison a few things here or there.
That's right. I think that one I didn't even really think about because it was such a non-issue, right? I can agree with, okay, the pilot was a bit underdone, right? The pregnancy plot was pretty fully formed and fleshed out. Maybe it wasn't your thing, but it was pretty consistently there. This one, like you say, they brought it up as a potential plot and then never did anything at all. So I never even thought about that again, I guess.
I feel like if we watched anything else and they set something up...
No, I'm agreeing now. I'm saying I didn't notice.
Right.
I'm saying I didn't notice because it wasn't a thing.
Right. Okay.
Like it was if they'd reminded me again, like 10 minutes later, like halfway through after that, and then they didn't do anything with it still, I'd be much more aware of it, right? Where because here it was introduced as a possibility and then just ignored it entirely. I didn't even notice that it was missing because we didn't even start it really. If that makes sense.
But that's such a big scene, kind of introducing the idea that she was scared of taking over. That
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a big theme of the episode, and it just didn't happen. And it's kind of like I say, like you either make the episode about that and you'll have the crisis. You have to have the crisis on the ship, right? That's happening no matter what.
That's
and then,
the episode, yeah.
Right. And then you either make it on top of that about helping this other doctor, overcome her fears, become a leader, and get over the death of the other guy. You make that the main heart of the episode, or you make this pilot, or you don't have that at all, and you have this pilot lady who's at the end of her life and is willing to sacrifice herself to save everyone, and accept the fact, her brother's accepting that she's dying and all that. You can focus on that, give that more time, and make that the heart of the episode. I don't think you need the baby thing at all. I feel like that's just a subplot that didn't even need to be there.
It probably didn't need to be in this episode specifically. I think it's more just about Brian's overall, narrative throughout the season.
It is. It felt really it felt like it was distracting from other things in this one.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. Weak sauce does not get points of approval for me. So next week you'll find out how Carr defends episode 6 while I trash it.
Oh no! I'm waiting for the one that I hate. There will be one.
Well, there usually is.
There's always one.
Different creative team now, though. I mean, you may not get that.
Well, I mean, true, but there's been at least one every season since 05. There's been one where I'm like, nope, that one's shite. And even in the seasons I love the most, there is always one.
Yeah. The next one, by the way, I noticed the title of this in IMDb when I was getting the info up, is called Demons of the Punjab.
Yeah, I saw the next time. If you'd let me just to give you a 10-second thing of what it is.
Oh, go on, yes.
Basically, they go back in time and they're going to meet a young version of Yaz's grandmother in India.
All right. I'm just saying, Demons of the Punjab sounds like a really bad horror movie.
It does.
Sounds very insensitive, if nothing else.
I will say I didn't get any sense of demons in the next time bit that they get. It was very brief. So, interesting.
Yeah. Well, was there any sense of a villain? Because I'm assuming there will be one of some kind.
No, there wasn't any sense of it. It was more just, oh, hey, young grandmother.
So, demons. There'll be demons.
Yeah.
Here be demons.
Demons are cool.
I know, they were in a hit television show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
God damn it, that was cheap and you know it. This is why you brought up that title.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It so is.
I didn't even think of saying it until you said demons were cool.
I regret it. Demons are shite. Take it back.
Oh, dear. Yeah. So, yeah. I've said my piece. It's mediocre, bit boring, overstuffed. There you go. Carr, give it a pass.
I was having fun with the banter. Sometimes that's enough.
You give it a pass. That is episode 5 of Doctor Who. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv and you can do that over there. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV. Have you got any vanilla?